So the most important pair that we need to look at versus the dollar, because that's the granddaddy of them, versus the US dollar, and this is the currency that there is a lot of impact or would give us the first sign of a possible trend reversal, which would be the dollar yen. So this is the dollar yen for the week of October 19, and I just have to put this label on because of the recording being on the site. So as usual, the first thing we do, we begin to analyze and take a look at our weekly charts, because the weekly charts are our initial key, and we take also an idea about, or try to identify the major structural points. So in the pound dollar, as you recall, we had two entries. One which is the 90.13, which we have identified last week, and we have placed that price point, the colored line, as green, so that would be our buying point, and we enter that in our radar screen. The second buy point is the 9088, and that 9088 is this structural point, and it is also the beginning of the move to the upside that began in February 2009. So that was the beginning of the move that took us all the way up to the other structural point, which you see here identified by the dashed CN line. That is a structural point that has been going back since 1993 and 94, and it has been a very relevant point. So since we are now closed the week at 9088, we are sitting at this structural point. We did make an attempt during the week to trade above the 9088. We tested we made a high this week of 91.31, which is still not yet a buy. But what happened is we came back and we closed at 90.88. The positive sign here is that we did not close below 90.88. So we have now a low risk trade for next week. As long as the dollar yen remains above 9099, then we are going to maintain our long bias, and we will actually be buying the dollar yen. So now we are going to go to our radar screen, and now we are going to change to a new buying point, long point for the week, which is now, instead of 9013, it is going to be 9088, which is now the structural point, and it is also a structural point. So in this case, the 9088 is a structural point, and it is also a long point. So it's a pretty significant point, and we would have, in this case, a low risk entry on the week. So as long as the dollar remains above 90.88, we are going to be maintaining our long bias. So now let's take a look at our daily chart. And as you see, this is the trade that we took in the week, trading right above 9013. We pushed above, so everything so far is good. Having to close above the 98 is quite significant. And of course, if it does come and trade below the 90.88, then we can initiate a short. Because why am I saying we initiate the short? Because on the weekly chart, the dollar index is still bearish. But I do have, based on the behavior of the dollar yen, we may have a good, very strong move to the upside. This 90.88 to 101, that's 1,000 or 1100 pips. So it is a trade that we should really keep a good eye upon. So we will be maintaining our bias, as I said, and we will be trying to buy it as long as it stays above the 90.88, and we will short below the 90.88. If we're going to look at our intraday chart, this is our intraday chart, and as you recall from last week, this was our buying point on a trade above the 89, and we had a very strong momentum to the upside, and we moved all the way up to trade above the 91.30. The only thing that happened was on Friday we had a down day in the dollar yen in the New York session, but as you see, the low of the New York session was pretty much the momentum high of the prior day, and we reversed back, which is a positive sign, but there wasn't enough buying coming in to actually give us what we call, or what we term as, a late day reversal. So that is still a positive sign, and as we have planned on our radar screen, if the dollar trades below this momentum high, in this case it is 76, then we can initiate a short. So in this case, as long as the dollar is above 90.76, we are going to maintain our positive bias. I really would not be looking to short the dollar unless, in this case, it breaks below what would be a short-term structure, which is the 90.57. So in this case, our plan for the Sunday session, or tonight's session in Tokyo, we are only going to go short the pound dollar, the dollar yen below 90.58. So if we have an open in the session somewhere around the 90.88, and we do have a push to the downside, I am not going to take the first short. I am not going to short the dollar yen unless it trades below 90.58. If I do have a break to the upside out of Tokyo, then I'm going to take the buy. So I would be buying again anywhere above 90.88, or if you want to take a trade above the market side, which is 90.96, that would be all right. But we are not going to take any shorts in the dollar yen unless it trades below 90.58. So I'm going to go to my radar screen, and I'm going to place my shorting point in the dollar yen as 90. My short point is going to be 90.58. All right, that is the dollar.